I'm Dr. Melanie, and I'm here with Storm today, and we're going to be working on Leave It. So when you don't want Storm to chew on something, or she has something in her mouth and you want to get it out, Leave It is a really good command to know, so that you can get her to give you whatever it is. You know, Drop It works too. But Leave It is good that you can catch her before she even picks it up. That's the goal with Leave It. So, you know, you have something like a toy on the ground and you want to tell her leave it. And what I'm going to be doing is offering her a treat instead of the toy. And that's how I'll be training her on the Leave It. Storm! Storm! Come! Good come, good come. Alright, so she's already getting excited about the toy, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Storm! Leave it. Leave it. Good girl. Good, leave it. Alright, so that was a good start. Alright, so go ahead and offer the toy again. Put it down. She's doing good. She's already got the idea. She knows. Let's try. I believe she likes this toy a little better, so I'm going to try this one and see if I can get her enticed again. Storm! Storm, come. Good girl. Good come. Leave it. Storm. Leave it. Good girl. Good girl. Good, leave it. Good, leave it. Leave it. Good girl. Good, leave it. Alright, so now she's doing really well with me having the toy in my hand and moving it away from her and distracting her with the treat. But you can see she's still very into the toy. She's getting very excited about it. But I want to progress into having the toy on the ground and continuing to have her leave it. So let me grab a few more treats to distract her. And eventually we'll work up to doing this without treats, but in the beginning, the initial stages of teaching Leave It, you do need the treats to distract the dog from the toy or whatever it is. Leave it. Good girl. Good girl. So I'm slowly trying to put it on the ground without her taking it. Storm, leave it. Good girl. So now that she knows I have treats in my hand, she's not as enticed. Leave it. Storm, leave it. Good girl. Good girl. So she went for the toy, but I was able to catch it before she picked the toy up, which is leave it. Good girl. Good girl. Alright, so that's good. So we did a couple practice rounds. She's doing better, but she's still definitely very interested in the toy, which is understandable. This is one of her favorites to play with here. We're going to go ahead and grab a few more treats and do some more. This is one of the more difficult things for a lot of dogs to learn, especially if they really like toys and you're using the toys to train. But of course, you can use it on walks to keep her from chewing on grass or sniffing things you don't want her to as well. But in the training, we're just using toys for now. Good, leave it. Good, leave it. Good girl. Good girl. So I'm going to move the toy around. Leave it. Good, leave it. Good, leave it. So I want to wait each time for her to get excited about the toy again. She's getting the idea, so she's starting to stay away from the toy. I'll switch to another toy to see if we can continue to get the same results. Leave it. Good girl, good girl. So when you see her going for the toy, that's when you want to step in and distract her with the smell of the treats, get her attention away, and she'll eventually learn that leave it means to stay away. Leave it. Good girl, good girl, good leave it, good leave it. So she's doing better, much better, but we want to keep working on it, definitely. Leave it. Good girl, good leave it, good toy a couple times, she gets the idea and she won't play with that toy anymore. So she's definitely getting this command down. I want to slowly alternate so that I'm not using treats every single time, but still distracting her so she'll believe I have treats, but not actually giving them to her every time, because we don't want her to be completely treat dependent with the Leave It. So she's not as distracted by that toy. Leave it. Good girl. Leave it. Good girl. Good leave it. Good leave it. So that time I didn't give her a treat, but I still managed to distract her away from the toy. Good leave it. Good leave it. So she is trying to get a treat from me. She's showing up for me right now, because she was expecting to get a treat from leaving it, but we'll gradually decrease that so she still follows the command without the treats. Leave it. Good girl. So we want to just alternate, you know, still giving treats sometimes and not other times. Start. Leave it. Good, leave it. Good, leave it. Good girl. So we went off camera on that one. I had a squeaky ball that I was throwing for her, so it was bouncing around, which is very distracting for dogs. And I did manage to get her to leave it before she actually got to it, which is really good. So she's picking up this command very quickly. We're going to try this with a few other things other than toys. I'm going to try a food bowl. It's not causing much of a distraction for her. Let's see. Leave it. Good girl, good girl. All right, so she went for the food bowl, but I was able to, even from a distance, get her to come over to me when I told her to leave it. So that's really excellent. This is a really great skill for your dog to have, because you definitely want to be able to distract them anytime they're getting into something that they're not supposed to, you know, something that could be bad from them or something you don't want them to chew up, whatever it is. And she's understanding that after I've told her to leave something alone, even after an extended period of time, she's continuing to leave that toy or whatever it is alone, even though it's continuing to lay on the ground. So that's really great. She's doing a great job with this. It's still important to keep reviewing and keep practicing with different toys, objects, anything that she would normally go over and sniff is great to practice with at home as well. It doesn't have to be a toy. You know, the food bowl usually works really well. She knew that there wasn't food in the bowl, so it wasn't as big a distraction for her. But you can even practice on a bowl that has food in it, getting her to leave it for a little while, and then having a release word like okay, that means that then she can go ahead and eat the food. So I'm going to try one more this time. I'm going to have a treat in the bowl. And I'm going to let her smell it so she knows that there's a treat in here. Good, leave it. Good, leave it. So she knows that even though I put food in that bowl, she's still not going after it, which is a really big step. A lot of dogs, it takes a lot of training in order to do that. So she sees and smells the food in the bowl, and she still doesn't go after it because I've told her previously to leave this bowl alone. So she's a very fast learner with this command, and I don't think it's going to be much of a problem with a little more practice. You should be able to easily at home tell her to leave it with anything that you don't want her to touch, and also when you're out walking her, anything like that. Just again, use the word leave it. If you notice that she's not responding, we'll do some more practice with treats and other things to review. But she's doing a really great job. This is Dr. Melanie with Storm. Thank you for watching.